Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria, otherwise known as Lone Wolf Knits Online, and this is my little podcast where I talk about the things that I have been making. So today we are joined by Rocky in the back there, just hanging out. We woke up to snow here in the Pacific Northwest this morning. It'll probably be gone by like the afternoon, but it was still really nice to wake up to some magical snow covering everything. And it was especially picturesque because there was a lot of rain that also happened. So there's a lot of light reflections happening outside and it's really beautiful. Basically little like ice crystals everywhere. And so it was nice to throw on my bulkiest sweater I've ever made, which I am wearing today. This is my first finished object that I would love to talk to y'all about. And this is the Even Easier Eyelet sweater. Oops, my watch caught on the table there. Even Easier Eyelet sweater. I will throw the link below. I cannot remember the designer's name, but she always has pink hair and she's super popular, so you've probably heard of her. And what else can I say about this? It's made in We Are Knitters merino roving wool. It's like unspun yarn, or like very lightly spun. I am already, as I was making it, this was a whip that I finished over the course of a few years. I basically made the entire yoke, and I think I even finished the body, and then I just got stuck and didn't want to do the sleeves for some reason. But I recently discovered the popcorn bowl hack. I don't know if you've ever seen this online before, but I just came across it. And it's basically you take like a mixing bowl, or I always call them popcorn bowls because I always put popcorn in them. And you put your body of your sweater in that big bowl so that as you're knitting the sleeves, you can just simply turn the bowl to turn the sleeve instead of having to like pick up the whole sweater and turn it around to knit the other side of your sleeve. This was such a game changer for me. I finished the sleeves for this in like 2 days because I was just it was so much easier than picking up, especially this like super heavy sweater, every time I turned a couple rounds in my sleeve. And for those who like just have that, I hate doing sleeves because of having to turn the sweater all the time, I'm like convinced that that has changed my whole outlook on sleeves, because I have always been told like, oh, you're such a good sock knitter, why don't you like sleeves? And I could never parse why I love knitting socks but I hate knitting sleeves, until that very moment where I realized that it was more about turning the sweater a million times and having to just like always stop and pick up the sweater and move it around and untangle everything. That was what was holding me back from making sleeves. So good news there. I finished this really quickly, obviously, after that. Didn't take that long. And I guess, what do I have to say? It is a very heavy sweater. It's a very warm sweater. I'm wearing it under a tank top right now. I don't know if I can really get up and show you. So it's like a cropped sweater. And so I just have it over some yoga pants, and it's the same in the back as the front, so I don't even know why I'm turning around, but it has these really pretty eyelet peekaboos here, and you start at the top and work your way down. You split for sleeves after the yoke itself, so the yoke kind of ends like right here, and then you just knit the bottom and knit the sleeves and you're done. So one thing I should also note about this sweater is it's very heavy, but that may just be my yarn choice. This is just 100% wool that is very dense, so it does feel very good to wear. If I had made it in the suggested yarn, I think it's different from what I used. maybe it wouldn't be so heavy, but for that reason, I don't reach for it as much as I envisioned I would at first, but that's okay. I bought this yarn years and years ago as part of a kit for We Are Knitters, and I just never made the original thing that the kit came with. I don't even remember what it was for, and this was just sitting in my stash, taking up so much space because the balls are like this big. And I was considering like a cardigan of some kind, but I just couldn't really find a pattern that I liked, and so this even easier eyelet sweater really fit the bill, and I started knitting it I think around COVID actually, so it's been quite a few years. And I will put in a picture of when I started the yoke, like right here. You can really see how much the weight of this yarn has caused the neckline to spread, which I actually like. I was a little nervous at first. I thought for sure that I was just gonna it was gonna be too tight in the beginning. I was like, it's like really hitting me right here, and I don't really find that I like very high neck stuff. I'm not a turtleneck person most of the time, so I was a little worried that it was too tight. But sure enough, obviously, because of the weight of the rest of the sweater, it really pulls out the neckline out and down. So you can really see that difference from when I first started to when I finished the body and actually wear it now. The sleeves and the weight of the rest of the sweater really do pull open that neckline a whole lot. So I'm very happy with the color. It's like a very dark pine. It's not really, it's sort of faithful on screen, I would say, but yeah, I mean, you can see like what a normal, like, this is more of a jade green back here, so it's like, it's a dark green, but it kind of almost gives some like bluish hues. It's not really like a straight pine green. So I really love this color. It's like one of my favorite greens. So I really am in love with just like the color choice. I don't know how much use I will get out of it long term because we very rarely have super cold days here in the Pacific Northwest, but I am very glad to have it. The last thing I'll say about this yarn is that because it is unspun or like very loosely spun roving type yarn, I'm literally picking out dog hair from when my dog came up here for 2 seconds. It likes to grab onto stuff. You can see like just picking up random pieces of lint and things. And I will definitely have to shave this pretty often, especially probably under the armpits the more I wear it. Any like high friction areas, because it doesn't have the strength and the plies to really like prevent pilling. So I knew that going into this sweater. I am more than happy to care for it. It's just not going to be like a daily wear for me, but I do truly love the color, how it turned out. The pattern itself was super easy to follow. I think this is a great beginner sweater if you wanted something really cozy and bulky. But I was also just really happy to finish it, as it's been sitting on my needles for quite some time now, and it contributed towards my February finish it whip pile. So very happy to have it, and I'm really excited to be wearing it before the spring starts. So yay, Pacific Northwest random snowstorm. So last time I talked about, I think I talked about the Big Cozy Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I did finally finish this. I will put in some B-roll footage of me wearing it because I'm not gonna wear it over this and be way too hot. But I did finish the sleeves and I finished the collar. And let me just say this. I have talked about my disappointments in the main body of the yarn that I used, which was Skydance. I think I even talked about just the dye situation. I had to wash this so many times, and dye is still leaching out of it. No matter how much vinegar I put in there, I even tried citric acid, it's just not, it's not holding the dye. And because it was not dyed correctly, I find myself just not wanting to wear it because I'm nervous that like I would love to wear like a white shirt under this, but I'm afraid that it's going to turn yellow. Especially under the armpits where, you know, things get a little hot. I'm nervous to wear this. So far I've just been wearing it with t-shirts that I don't really care about staining, black or dark color shirts underneath. And that's that for the yarn part of it. The pattern part of it, I also have some issues with, and that is that structurally this sweater is just not made for someone like me with smaller shoulders. I know it doesn't really look like I have small shoulders because this sweater is like super bulky at the top, and it's making me it's looking like I'm actually like really muscular or something, but I actually have like kind of small petite body type overall. I'm like 5'1", and so I kind of knew going into this, but I was a bit of a new knitter when I started this. Not new to knitting, but like new to garment design and knowing what fits my body type the best. And when I first cast on this pattern, I was like, oh, this is really interesting construction. There's no seams really except for under the arms. But if you look at the way that it is constructed, like you basically knit a large rectangle and then you seam 2 corners together at either side to make the sleeve here. And what that does is like this seam kind of sits not quite at the bottom of your armpit, kind of sits at like the side, like where you're like underneath your breast a little bit, for me at least. And so it doesn't provide any structure to the top of the sweater or how the sweater will sit on your shoulders. And you couple that with this giant collar that you have at the top here, which is long and not bulky, but does take up a decent amount of space around your neck. The collar itself does not provide any stickiness or structure to keep this whole bit of fabric on your shoulders. So what I'm finding is like if I'm wearing it standing up or walking around the house or out and about, the collar just naturally wants to pull down like this, and then it's sitting on your shoulders with all this sweater and it's just falling. So let me see if I can kind of try and show you what I mean as I'm wearing it. So again, this can be kind of hard to see with 2 sweaters on here, but this collar just doesn't provide enough structure as you're wearing it. If you were standing, walking around, it just naturally wants to slip off. So like even as I'm wearing it now, it's sticking to the wool underneath, but you can see that it like really this lighter yellow should be tucked up under my shoulders, and it should stay there, right? Like this is how the sweater is designed to fit and sit, but because there's nothing structurally telling the sweater to sit there, and the seam for the shoulder / arms are all the way down here, it just does not provide any structure. So let me take this off before I get way too hot. Here's the thing, is it big? Is it cozy? Yes, yes. Does it fit in my wardrobe as someone who works from home? Yes. Is it a sweater that I can wear out and about without constantly adjusting? No. And for that reason, I've kind of struggled with, do I like this sweater or do I want to completely rip it out and start new? I've mentioned how much I did not enjoy working with this yarn and the dye problems that it has. So most likely I am not going to rip out that part. And the more I just leave this in my room and throw it on when I'm just wearing a t-shirt and got cold all of a sudden and just want to like cozy up, it has functioned remarkably well. The yarn itself, if not for the dye problems, is actually very breathable, super temperature regulating. I never get overheated in this despite the giant collar and the large volume of, well, volume that is this entire sweater here. It is very cozy and it is really growing on me. So at first I was very disappointed, but I've kind of come around to be more neutral about it now. And I didn't even finish weaving in my ends because I wasn't sure if I was gonna frog this or not. So forgive my my ends sticking out. But I think I've decided that I'm going to keep it and I'm going to wear it as like, it's literally going to sit on that chair over there and it's going to be my, I need to throw something on. I'm freezing in the mornings mostly. And I just want to wear something that will get me cozy fast. So for that reason, it's gonna stay, but it's not my favorite Andrea Mowry sweater. And it is a little disappointing to have used 2 full skeins of my favorite Odang yarn. Although I have to say that this was the perfect placement for this yarn. Like, to sit around my neck. It just feels so good and nice. So thank you, Andrea Mowry. But I don't think this is my favorite sweater pattern of hers, and there have been a few duds. I've made a lot of Andrea Mowry sweater designs, and some of them I did frog completely after finishing them. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one of the ones that I finished was a version of this that was very similar with the fold over collar kind of look, and I just didn't like it on me. It wasn't quite this kind of collar. I forget what the name of it was, but I knit the entire thing and then I frogged the entire thing because it was just too much color for me and not enough structure in the cardigan. So maybe that's just my beef. I can't deal with non-structured collars like that, or like really big shawl like collars just fall off my shoulders. So I like that look. I like how they feel on. They just don't stay on. But again, was very happy to finish this. This was another whip from years ago that I finished in February, early February. And I'm glad that I gave it a chance. I'm glad that I finished it. I do really love the colors still. And I love the texture. I love all the elements of it. I just don't love how it all came together. But again, I'm getting used to it. And who knows, maybe it'll grow on me even more. I did create this in a size smaller than I normally make because I was also really worried about the oversized factor on such a petite body that I have. And I do like that this comes like, it comes like halfway down to my butt. So wearing leggings with this and like a cropped t-shirt or just like a regular length t-shirt but like a little more form-fitting, it does work really well. Like that's the only outfit that I really can put together with this. Everything else just does not look good, very good. But yeah, so another finished object. Finished sweater too. I was really happy to get 2 sweaters off of my whips list. So go me, go finishing things in February. Very proud of myself about that. My last finished object is a crochet project, and again I'm gonna have to put in some b-roll footage here of like the entire blanket because it is so big. But I'll try to show it as best I can right now, and then I'll insert some other footage to show you in more detail. So here's the center, the very middle bottom here, and then most of what I've done since, I think I did show this blanket on here. I think I showed it to y'all when I was like about here. So I did about maybe 7 or 8 inches more and then did the border. So it's just a very simple but beautiful scallop edge border, and I love how that makes it look antique-y, but also, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm Italian, but it kind of reminds me of a ravioli. So I love it. Italian Christmases are also just such an event and so special that I like that that's kind of like a hint to that for me personally. And I basically finished this because I ran out of Christmas colored yarn and I really wanted to be done with it. So it is the perfect length for me. It's not a super large, gigantic blanket, but it is really beautiful and I'm so glad to have it. I cannot wait to take it out for the holidays this upcoming year. And I started this in December, so it hasn't been on my hook for that long. But I wanted to finish it in December, but I didn't have enough Christmas themed yarn to take me all the way through to the end. So I think I talked about this last time on my channel, but I didn't have enough scraps left. So I had to like finish some other things first and find some more scrap yarn around my stash and donate it to be able to finish this. The other cool thing about this yarn and the border color specifically is that I got this yarn in Italy. So it has another special meaning there. I went to Italy over this past summer with my family, and it was a very special time for me and my dad, and I'm very excited to be knitting with some of the yarn that I got there. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out. Let me see if I can kind of show just maybe one more larger look at what this, oh, I hit the light. What this looks like and just how much detail is in it. There's a lot of hand spun in here. There is a lot of fluff. It's just really beautiful, super cozy, warm. It actually really goes nicely with my sweater, I might add there. Yeah, really happy with that. And so that is my finished knit and crochet objects for this episode. I do have one last finished thing to show you, and it is that I finished the hand spun that I was talking about last episode, where I just showed you the singles. So this is the Bubblegum Accident colorway from Yipsy Fiber. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, so sorry if not. But this is the 2-ply that I finally spun together. I absolutely love how this turned out. I'm really obsessed with the like purpley grays and contrasted with those like pinks. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm really excited to use it. Do I know what I'm going to use it with? No. But that's for another day. Anyway, that's it. I think we're getting a delivery, so I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you liked this video so you don't miss any more content from me, and I will catch you next time. Bye.